right, well, when the weather is hot, the last thing you want to do is turn on a hot stove. Luckily, we have you covered with no heat recipes, and my guest today is the author of no less than 50 cookbooks and a James Beard Award winner. Welcome to New Day. Welcome back, I should say, James Fraioli.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
I love having you here. Usually we make cocktails together. And I'm so excited that you've got not just a dish, but a no-heat cooking dish. So tell me, just, you've been at this cooking thing for a while. 50 cookbooks.
50 cookbooks. So I work with chefs and restaurants and bartenders to help assemble their books. So I have a boutique publishing company that specializes in culinary books.
That is amazing. And you are, excuse me, been very busy this last summer overall. So this is kind of a great dish to make when you got really no time, you don't want to heat up the house. And so what are we making today?
Yeah, so this is heirloom tomatoes with a garlicky cream sauce. Right now it's tomato season, and this is very simple, and it's a nice alternative to the caprese, which is the basil and the mozzarella oil and vinegar. So we're going to make a cream sauce and drizzle it over the tomatoes.
All right. So how do we get started?
Okay, so we're going to have 1 cup of mayo, and you could just scoop that in.
I love mayo. Anything with mayo.
Mayo's excellent. Hellmann's or Best Food is a great brand for mayonnaise.
Yep. Okay.
And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of evaporated milk.
Evaporated milk.
Evaporated milk.
Okay.
And then we're going to press 1 large clove of garlic.
Okay. Raw garlic too is got so much flavor. Did I do this right? I told James I've never used this before.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Here you go.
Perfect. Excuse me. All right. Oh, that's so great. All right.
And then you we'll just scrape the bottom out of it. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
And then a large pinch of salt, sea salt.
Okay.
Which is basically about a 1/4 teaspoon.
Okay.
You can eyeball it. That's perfect.
So about this?
Yeah, you can put it all in.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
I'll put the rest over my shoulder.
There you go. A few cracks of the pepper.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Easy peasy.
And now you whisk it until it's nice and smooth and creamy. It should be the consistency of like a thin pancake batter.
Okay.
And then what you want to do before you serve it is you want to chill it.
Okay.
And it's best to make it a day or two ahead of time.
That was going to be my next question.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm glad. No, you're reading my mind. Okay.
So that's it.
And it won't separate, even if you make it like a day or two?
No, it won't.
Okay.
In fact, it'll be better because the flavors will meld and it's and you want to serve it chilled, which is what we have here. This one has been made the day before and it's been chilled.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Now, salt. Does the kind of salt matter? I've always kind of wondered that because I have, pink Himalayan salt. I've got, my Morton salt, my kosher salt. What is the best salt to use?
It's really up to you. Now the Himalayan salt is very salty, so usually you want to cut back.
Okay, so use less.
Use less if you have Himalayan, but kosher salt, sea salt, table salt, it's really up to you. And then the tomatoes. So if we have a moment to talk about the tomatoes.
Let's talk tomatoes because I know there's an abundance of them right now. People love tomatoes. And just tell us the difference and what really goes good with this meal.
Well, you definitely want to use a fresh and ripe tomato.
Okay.
Heirloom are best because nothing has been modified in the growing. And unfortunately, that's what you see a lot in the big box stores or the supermarkets.
Yeah.
Are the hothouse or the tomato on the vine, which are these, which are grown to be perfectly shaped, red.
So they're lying.
They're lying?
Are they perfect?
Well, not with flavor. From appearance and for storage and shipping, they're perfect.
Okay.
But what they've bred out of them is the flavor, versus the heirloom tomato, which has not lost its flavor. Now it's not as beautiful.
It looks like a heart.
Right, and they grow in very odd shapes. and they're very, very fragile. But the flavor is phenomenal because nothing's been modified with the tomato. So heirloom tomatoes are the best, and they come in large sizes,
Right.
Small ones, cherry tomatoes. But as long as you have a fresh, ripe tomato, you're good to go.
Do you have a favorite?
I like the heirloom tomatoes. I also like the Cherokee. It's a dark purple heirloom tomato.
Okay. All right.
Those are very nice. But no, not really. We have persimmon. Those are persimmon tomatoes. Kumatos, which are like a big chocolate cherry.
Oh.
So it's really your preference.
I really think it's fascinating when you think about how these are just also hold such different flavors. Is there a way to cut them? Because I know that a lot of times when you cut them, I'm worried about bruising them or making them not look pretty like this.
Well, the biggest tip I would say is having a super sharp knife.
Okay.
You don't want to smash the tomato. If you have a dull knife, it's very difficult to cut slices.
Got it. Okay.
But as long as you have a sharp knife, you could come in slices. You can come in wedges. If you have the small cherry tomatoes, just have them.
Okay. So
yeah.
what do we do with the sauce now? Just drizzle it over?
Yeah. So if you want to, here we'll just move this.
Okay.
And then you just drizzle. Yeah, you drizzle the salt. Now,
I'll let you do it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, you do it because you'll do it prettier than me.
Sure. Now, what I did is I salted the tomatoes. You want to salt them.
Okay.
And then maybe just a couple cracks of pepper over the top.
I got you there.
This is right before serving.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then we'll just drizzle the sauce. Like I said, this has been chilled.
Okay. That's so just a little bit.
Yeah, you don't need a lot.
How long does this last for in the refrigerator?
About 3-4 days.
Okay, so I could do this once or twice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
this
just
is a really little
and
amount.
then just a sprinkling of sprinkling of oregano.
Okay.
So the recipe makes about a cup and 3/4.
All right.
So about with 3 pounds of tomatoes, you're looking about a serving of about 8 people.
Okay. All right, so truth time. I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes. I told James that, but I'm going to try it because I am all about, getting those, as my executive producer says, no thank you bites. But as I try this, tell me, what are you working on now?
I'm working with NFL legend Terry Bradshaw and his family on a cookbook. Terry has a bourbon line, Bradshaw Bourbon, so I'm working with him. I'm also working with Rich Coman, where this recipe comes from. Rich, if you're not familiar, is the co-owner of Roche Harbor.
Oh, wow.
And we partnered together on the Roche Harbor cookbook, and now we're doing his new book, which is 90 5-star recipes for the home cook. So these
Wow.
are Rich's recipes from his treasure trove, and this is one of the 5-star recipes. Hopefully it tasted 5-star.
I can't wait to actually try the recipes too. This is beautiful. Speaking of recipes, James is actually kind enough to share his recipe for this heirloom tomato and garlic white sauce. It is, by the way, delicious, as the first heirloom tomato I've ever had, and I loved it.
Fantastic.
I will say it tastes really great with this sauce. So all you have to do to get the recipe is 206-448-4545, and we'll send a link straight to your phone.